Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our follow-up from yesterday where we talked about All Things This Is Us Season 4 Episode 16. Now, we have a promo to discuss. The promo for New York, New York, New York. Sing it out loud, all of you guys. We don't want to get demonetized. It's going to be airing on NBC coming up on March 10th, and I am hoping that it is going to be every bit as exciting as I have it imagined to be in my head at the moment.
I am imagining that there might be some fighting going on in this episode. I think tensions are going to be really, really starting to come to the surface here.
I have to pick and choose my fun because I feel like by the end of this episode I'm just going to be in not a very New York state of mind. Also, I'm not singing that either. But let's dive into all of this. And before we do, if you would like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. So, I mean, the first thing we can confirm for sure now is that we are seeing present-day Kevin in New York City alongside Rebecca.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like he's going to be bringing along Randall and everyone else as well.
It feels that way. And I mean, it's not that far of a drive, I guess, for Randall if he's in Pennsylvania. He can make it in a day.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously it's not surprising he's going to invite his whole family there. But It does seem from this promo that Randall's going to have, like, some heavy reservations about Kevin bringing their mom as his date, which shouldn't actually be a thing.
And I really wonder, is there something very specific that happens during all of this that causes this level of anger from Randall? Because it's not as though Rebecca has just sort of disintegrated in terms of her cognitive ability that much just yet. Like, she's having some memory problems, but it's not where she would be, a danger to herself going to this with Kevin at her side.
Yeah, my feeling is that this is just a jealousy that's going on. But more than that, my feeling or my theory on this is just that Randall has always felt like he's the one. He said in the last episode that he's the glue. He's the one that's holding everyone together, that, his sister's unable to, that I get the feeling that he thinks that Kate just isn't able to handle anything, that maybe she's a little too fragile to handle things, which is not the way that I see her, but that's kind of the way I think he sees her. And I think he sees that Kevin just can never get himself together, so he's always going to be taking care of everybody. So there's sort of this little bit of, I wonder if Randall's going to be feeling very threatened to see that Kevin's doing really well, his sobriety is great, he's there for their mom in a way that Randall used to be in that spot, and, him doing well in some ways I can see threaten what Randall knows about himself, which is that he is the Rock. He takes care of his brother, he takes care of his sister, he takes care of his mom, he takes care of everybody. But if Kevin's doing well, it's not that he doesn't want Kevin to do well, but if Kevin's doing well, now there's two people in his mind where it's like, oh, now I'm not the person who's taking care of everything. Now Kevin might be taking care of things.
Let's dive into that even deeper, because with Kevin, he's always sort of been, and we've seen this from the flashbacks plenty of times, he's not the person who has always cared the most about things. He hasn't done all that well at school a lot of the time, and Randall has pushed himself to the brink and given himself anxiety and stress, and he feels like he has to be perfect at just about everything. And I could imagine over the course of several decades, it's probably rather frustrating to see someone like Kevin who, has some adversity, his athletic career is over, but then almost immediately after that he gets into acting and eventually becomes this sort of big success. Maybe he's frustrated and just feeling like things come way too easy for Kevin, where with Randall, things should be a lot easier because he puts in more quote-unquote work.
Yeah, and I always wondered, I mean, I'm not adopted, so I don't know if this is anything, so it's just a theory, that I wonder if because he's adopted, that I know that Kevin had always sort of felt that Rebecca put more into Randall
Yeah.
because he was adopted, and he has admitted before where he's like, oh yeah, mom put more into me and I ate it up like crazy because she's my mom, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm a little bit different than the family, but she's made me feel extra, like I'm extra part of this family. That maybe just that feeling of that maybe he feels like he needs to be the person who's really taking care of the family because he wants to ensure that his spot in the family is still there, that it's sort of a, okay, we're all adults now, and yeah, we're all brothers and sisters, and all of that is going on. But I don't know if maybe there's a little bit of that where he's like, I want to prove that I am part of this family. I am the person that takes care of this family. I'm adopted, so maybe I feel like I have to do extra in this family. Really, I think it's more about the idea that I said earlier, that it is about that he thinks that Kevin can't get himself together. Kate is a little bit too fragile to deal with anyone. So, here comes Randall. Got to fix it all. Uh-oh, Kevin's getting better.
Yeah, and I think it's a problem, and it makes sense. I'm glad that This Is Us is tackling this now as opposed to sort of saving it to the finale. I mean, I don't think this needs to be this sort of huge epic mystery of, you know, what causes the rift between Kevin and Randall, because this isn't a fun mystery. You know, Kevin's fiance, that's a little bit more of a fun mystery, and I think just getting some of this dread over and done with is probably good for all of us, so we can sort of see, okay, this is all going to be about presumably how they're both treating Rebecca, how they're handling her condition. I mean, for her, you know, because she's obviously still very much aware, it's got to be a really horrible position for her to be in.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, she's probably seeing that her memories are going to be slipping away from her, and while she's having these experiences, it's got to be really scary to be feeling like, oh yeah, I'm having this experience, it's gonna be so great. Am I gonna remember this? Like, is this gonna be one of the memories that is gonna go, and how quickly is it gonna go?
And I mean, depending on how long this feud also lasts, I'm sure there's also a fear of, are my last memories that I have of Kevin and Randall going to be them hating each other just because of me, because of how I want to try to live my life? I mean, it's a lot of, I think, pressure that's sort of going every way. And then you have Kate, who could sort of just be stuck in the middle of all of this. And, you know, does Kate pick a side? Where does she fall? We saw that she was with Kevin at that birthday party, but that doesn't necessarily mean everything.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that she's not with Randall as well. And Kate is somebody who I think at this point in her life wouldn't necessarily take sides, that she would see what's going on Kevin's side of things, what's going on Randall's side of things. But I think because Kate has some pretty serious stuff going on, and she has a child with special needs, that in some ways that it would be, okay, I've got my two brothers going through this, I don't need that on top of me, so I'm going to be here for both of my brothers in the best way that I can be.
And I think she would probably do that. Alright, so now we have one other important element that's not even in this promo, but I think we should still definitely discuss it, and that is the Sophie of it all. I mean, we discussed this briefly the other day, but Kevin's back on the East Coast. He's going to be going through this feud with Randall, seemingly. I mean, this is the sort of thing that could leave him sort of scrambling, could lead for him just wanting someone to talk to. Sophie's been through a lot. He can sort of use this as he could check in on her and see how she's doing, but in turn try to get something from her. And not so much in like a manipulative way, but just he's maybe looking for something that needs to be filled, and he doesn't want to resort to drinking, so what else can he do?
Yeah, and we have seen Kevin go to Sophie over and over again throughout the seasons of This Is Us. So for me, what I'm kind of hoping is that it's going to be a little bit of the opposite, that there might be a little bit of something with Sophie here, but that after their last encounter, that maybe she's decided that her relationship that she's about to really go forward in, get married and have all this going on, that it's not what she actually wants, and it's not for her, and that she may be the person to reach out, know that Kevin's in town, his big movie's happening, that sort of thing, or maybe he even throws the two of them tickets as sort of a, hey, no hard feelings, we're all good, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm in town. Here's this for you, you and your man. Come and enjoy the night, sort of thing. That it then becomes something where she decides that she's going to maybe reach out, that maybe she's broken off her relationship or she just wants to see how he's doing.
Yeah.
I would like to see her put out for him a little bit. And then just get that glimpse of Kevin's at the beginning of a really good road here where he is more involved in his family. I think what happened with Nikki and helping Nikki through that stuff and really becoming bonded to another member of his family started to put him in this road where he's very involved with his family and he's looking at things very differently, which then in turn can make it that Sophie is going to look at him a bit differently and see, okay, Kevin's kind of on the road to getting his stuff together. This is interesting. It's a side of Kevin I haven't seen.
Well, I think for all Kevin and Sophie fans, I don't know their ship name. Maybe it's Kofi. For all, I mean, it's probably not...
maybe there shouldn't be one.
It's probably not 7. I can probably say that. But no, I think there is probably a lot to be hopeful for. I mean, it definitely felt like there was still something there when we last saw them. So maybe this will be a chance to start to watch it manifest itself on the show again in the present.
Yeah, I think that it's a good chance that with him in New York that we will see or at least hear about something that's going on with Sophie.
All right, well, let's get your thoughts on all of this. What do you think is going to happen based on the This Is Us promo for Season 4, Episode 16? Are you bummed as we are to have to wait to see it? Be sure to share in the comments, and if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the Carter Matt store, and we'll see you here next time.